Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. It's time for another Q&A of 2020. For the second one, this is the second one today. Oh, is it not? It's the third one. No, it's the third one, excuse me. I'm losing track sometimes. But we've got a nice set of questions for a lovely bunch of people, lovely, amazing subscribers I've known for a good while. As always, we'll start off with doing Film Bloke with his questions. He's only sent me 3 questions, which is not too bad. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much. You always do. If you do another Q&A, I'll definitely send you some questions, mate. No problem. So your first question is, tea or coffee? Ultimate answer. It has to be coffee. The reason being is because tea doesn't agree with me, which is strangely. It's like, it feels like I'm allergic to tea. I can't drink a hot cup of tea because it damages my stomach, it does, strangely. I don't know why, it just happens. I think about 5 or 6 years ago, I was working and someone made me a cup of tea by accident. I thought, that's fine. And I just drank it as normal. I thought, okay, this is not bad. Because I never ever drank tea, so that was the first time drinking it. And I felt very strange afterwards, like something was not quite right. I started getting pains in my stomach and stuff, and feel a bit weird. And it just really never agreed with me, so I never drank. So since then, I never drank tea whatsoever. I've always drank coffee. Mainly just maybe once a day if I'm working. If I'm on work days, I would drink coffee. It just keeps me going. It does. Have one in the morning before I start work shift or anything else. I don't drink at home. I don't. So sometimes I drink it when I'm usually when I'm out. I usually tend to drink a coffee sometimes. But it's mainly at work. I tend to drink it more really. To be honest, only one a day really. So I'm just a coffee person really. So that's your question answer for that one. Your second answer is, are there any TV shows you want to see revived? In terms of revival, I would like to see a 4th series of Game On, because there was some talks about doing a 4th one. I think Barnett, the writer who co-written the first 2 seasons, he basically written all 3 seasons. Andrew Davis co-wrote the first 2. I would definitely see a 4th one, because there was some talks about doing one, introducing a new character who's more, I think, like a lesbian character, I think. And there were sort of hints in something like, when it was repeated on television in 1999, they said, a new series will come next year, which it never did, never materialised whatsoever. I would love to see something like that, especially when they're growing up or something like that. I like to see what will happen, after how many years, like since 98, it was last, the 3rd series was on. I would like to see what the characters are, how much to change, really, that sort of thing. Probably just provide for one series, just a one-off series. That'll be good. So I'll definitely dig that. I think any others? I think Men Babe and Belly will be an interesting one to cover as well. Again, same thing with Game On, to see what happens after many years, with Gary and Tony, Dorothy and Deborah, and also raising a child as well. That'll be pretty interesting. Skins, that'll be interesting. I mean, they sort of done a thing like that with Series 7, how much the characters have grown on, 3 main characters have grown on, really. But I think something like this, in these sort of times, really, it would be interesting to do like a Series 8 or something, do a 4th generation or something. People probably might be mixed about that or be negative about that, but it might be interesting, really, because I used to watch Skins many years ago, I think during my teen years, really, so quite relevant. It might seem relevant today, really, so that would be pretty good. I'm just really trying to think what else I can think of. Something ideal. Maybe Cracker, actually. Maybe it's a one-off special, because there's an interesting thing about that. Obviously, if people don't really know, Cracker was a TV crime drama starring Robert Coltrane, written by Jim McGovern, who had done many stuff like The Lakes. He's done, as well, recent stuff for the BBC as well. Quite interesting stuff. Very good writer he is. I would love to see him do another one-off special, really, because I sort of knew, about 4 years ago, because I always thought, there might be a special coming in 2016. Apparently there wasn't, because I saw filming pictures of Robert Coltrane service on the internet, of course, and I thought, are they doing another special Cracker? Set maybe 10 years later after the last one. But it wasn't actually. It was actually to do with a docudrama to do with a game show host. I've got the name of it now. But I always just assumed that like they revived Krakow just for another special, really, as a one-off, but never did really. I would love to see, as just return as one-off special, because I don't think with stories, I think we're doing like free series. Maybe it could happen, but maybe as a one-off special, probably be decent. Maybe like in the autumn or something. After Krakow, the Final Terror, or 9/11, wherever you go by that name for the last special, it'd be pretty interesting, really. That's about it, really, for any TV shows to revive. So, like, Remember Him Belly, Game On, Cracker. I just really can't really think of anything else, really, to be honest. I think if you talk about children's television, I don't know, really, because it's, it can be done, but if you do, it depends on the handle of care, really, that sort of thing. So I can't really say anything about that. There might be a video I could talk about, maybe what if this had this series, what if this carried on, maybe. I don't know, but in terms of kids' TV, I don't know, really. If you revive an old show, maybe do like another season that has been since the late 80s, early 90s, I don't know, really. So those are my picks for them to get revived, really. And the last question is, what's your favourite adult animated series? So it's like The Simpsons, Family Guy, South Park, etc., etc. Animated shows, adult ones. Simpsons, obviously, I like, actually, because I've been watching Simpsons recently. It's some of the classic stuff, really, and it's pretty good, really good stuff. A lot of people have actually think it's really good. Go back to the Golden Age, to the early stuff as well. It's really good, really fascinating. Family Guy, I watched recently as well. I just didn't like it. Really, I think it's very out of date, and also in terms of its humour as well. I think whereas Simpsons stays relevant to us, even though it's still a dead horse at the minute. I think going back to the classic stuff, it's still really good. So Simpsons, you always get a joy out of it. There's something interesting about the old Simpsons, really. I do think that's really good. Family Guy, I don't tend to bother really more, to be honest. That's all gone up his own arse, really, to be honest. South Park I haven't seen for years. Really, because I know it's meant to be said to be relevant, but I think it's like I can't really keep up with South Park, really. As good as it is, and it's a very, very interesting show in terms of design and everything else, in animation. I just think, I've sort of gone off it, really. Rick and Morty. I've seen a few times. My best friends have been trying to introduce me to it a few times. It's good. I think it's good, but I think it's like, I don't know. Sometimes with new shows, like, say, you must get on board with it. It's like Breaking Bad or Chernobyl. Game of Thrones and stuff like that. I really can't get into. Because of its popularity in their fields, I think, like, I can't really get on the bandwagon with this, If something's too popular, I just can't really get on with it, really, unfortunately. But I think Rick and Morty's pretty good, It's like a nice spin on Back to the Future and everything else. I think it's pretty good, really. But I've only seen a couple episodes, really. I don't know if I can still get into it. I don't know. But who knows? There's also something else. What's that? Viz, the animated TV show. That's pretty good. If you've ever seen the animated show from the 90s, Viz, like they did various things, like mainly 2D animation, but for the they mainly did Sid the Sexist. The Fat Slags they did for a 3D animation. Really, that was pretty stop motion animation. It's in Rubber Vision. I did want a video of the Fat Slags actually. They did Roger Millie, Man on Telly, and Billy the Fish. All I did them. My parents got a DVD box set quite many years ago of it, of course, and so I think that's pretty interesting. That's very adult. That's very British humour. I really do enjoy that. You have people like the late Sandy Johnson, Kathy Burke, Simon Day's in it. Harry Enfield is Roger Millie. It's pretty good stuff actually. For a time. Very sort of, very sort of the 90s, very much, but it's still pretty good. And I think that's it really to really talk about for the anime shows. But DVD and Film Bloke, thank you very much, mate, for your questions. Pretty good stuff. Right, these next questions are from Baz Banter93, or Aaron, I should say. So, cheers, mate. Thanks for the questions. You sent me some bizarre questions, but that's the good thing, mate. In future, you can send me questions, anything you like, just random wit stuff, mate. That sort of suits you. That's totally fine, mate. But thank you very much. So, let's go through this. So the first one is, who would you rather date, a vampire or a werewolf? I'd probably say vampire. That's an obvious one, but with that, you can probably be immortal. You can live forever with the person you use love and that sort of thing. I always thought about that. Nothing to do with Twilight, because I'm not a fan of that horrible stuff. No. But I think dating like a vampiress or whatever you might call a female vampire would be really interesting. You have to wear black most of the time, or just I don't know. Maybe I think you have to really. So that's fair enough. You wear dark love anyway, so it's not too bad. So that's one. So I'll say vampire for that one. The second question is, who is your biggest celebrity crush? There's been a couple they have. One was Margot Robbie, of course. I think she's great, Australian, very interesting. I think I liked her because she had. If you read interviews about her, she was quite a bit out there and a bit sort of like a farmer's daughter type woman who, well, farmer's daughter who, well, farmer's daughter who basically lived and tackled all snakes, eat a lot of mashed potato, and had some weird. He was a bit of a geek herself, so I sort of relates to her. That's sort of relatable. That is, doing some weird stuff, and also a bit of a geek as well. She was a fan of Harry Potter as well. So yeah. Another one I could probably think of was Violet Bean, who was in The Flash. I remember seeing her in a film called Truth or Dare, Blumhouse's Truth or Dare. Sort of similar age group. I think somewhat similar age group because we're both like maybe a year older. I think maybe. Yeah, I think she's 96 she is. So yeah, so she's a year older than me, I think. So that's basically celebrity crushes there. I've sort of gone off them really because sometimes you have to outlive them very much. I think there's a period really. I think when Margot Robbie was in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood by Sharon Tate, that was sort of the thing really, of course. And same with Violet Bean, which is in Truth or Dare. So yeah, but since then it's been not much really, just them two I can figure off my head. Question 3: would you rather live in Toad Hall or Ratty's house? It has to be Ratty's house really because I like it next to a river. It's very picturesque. It is, very sort of. If you live next to a jetty and stuff, that's probably a bit. It'd be a bit of a shock. It'd be a bit of a pain in the arse in storms really, but I do like it. I do. The reason why I didn't pick Toad Hall because to be fair, I've been to a few mansions in my time really, and they can be quite a bit massive, a bit sort of empty sometimes. That sort of thing. And some of the places I used to work. Were sort of old mansions anyway, sort of refurbished and retooled really. So I can see so I prefer Ratty's house really than Toad Hall really. It's just too much space. Plus you can hear some stuff like you think it's haunted and stuff like that. Go back to Gloucester Mall End, winter horns and that sort of stuff really. Yeah, it's true. There could be really some. You can probably your mind plays tricks on you sometimes if you're working the night shifts. Yeah. So I'll probably say Ratty's house. Question number 4: which one anime character would I see bring to reality? Or one anime character bring to reality? Oh boy. In terms of reality, I could probably say bit of a hard one. There could be many. I'll probably say Rhubarb. I'll say Rhubarb, the dog. If you've ever seen Rhubarb, that 70s TV show, I'll probably choose him, really. Decent set of dog, that's, vomit green colour. Yeah, that'd be pretty good. Yeah, I'll just choose Rhubarb for that one. And which Gotham villain would you like to play 10-pin bowling with? Condiment Man. Or Condiment King. The one that uses condiments, she squirts ketchup and mustard, really. Because I thought, I don't want to go for heavy hitters. I'll just go for sort of a Z-list Gotham villain. Condiment Man, I'll choose. Or also Polka Dot Man, very much. I think Condiment Man will be interesting. Be an interesting idea to go 10-pin bowling with. And that's your question answered, Aaron. Thank you very much, mate. Right, these next questions are from Oscar Barnett. So a collaborator I tend to work with now and again. Great guy, of course. So he sent me 3 questions. Thank you very much, Oscar. Much appreciated, mate. Cheers, bud. Question 1. If I was doing a stand-up comedy show, would you book a ticket and come along? I would actually, yeah, definitely. It depends where it is. If it's a one-off show in your hometown, mate, it's like, mate, it depends really with that one. But if you're doing a tour around UK and stuff, I'll definitely come and see what it's like really. It depends on your style of comedy really, mate. It can be, to me, comedy for me, if I prefer stand-up comedy, it can be truthful, speaks to the heart of stuff. It can be offensive, it can be funny. That's my sort of type of humour really. So people like Frankie Boyle, Lee Evans, Greg Davis, that type of style, that's more my thing. They can be over the top and be, you know, sort of like satire and take the piss out of the audience, that sort of thing. That's my type of stand-up comedy, really. But I can see how it goes. If it, you know, see how it, you know. But for your style, it could probably be pretty interesting, really. You know, it can be a bit more silly humor, more slapstick type style. You know, it probably would be interesting, really. So I'll definitely come along and see what it's like if you do become successful. You know, you never know these days, mate. You know, you could probably get a decent gig, some low club or something, then gradually move on from there. That'll be pretty interesting. Question 2. How do you feel when we get to the final episode of Behave Looney, which is episode 26 of the 4th series? I don't know, really, because it's very... Because I've been involved with that series, well, the first 2 series so far anyway, you know, and I don't know. I feel pleased that you've done that for a long time. You know, I think pleased for your sake because you've done that show for long, you know. You've done 4 series, which is a decent amount, actually. You know, 26 stories. Depends, you know, how much us lot, our key collaborators, can put in really into the idea jar, that sort of thing. But I don't feel sad about it, really, because, you know, good things must come to an end, of course. And to be honest, it's like I feel a bit, you know, satisfied, really, because it gives you credentials, it gives you a build up, and also gives you a bit of a, I would say, more of a, oh god, I'm trying to think of the word now. Or a term for it, you know, you feel like you've earned your wings, really. You know, you've earned your wings as a collaborator and everything else. Well, to my eyes, really, to be honest, you know, because you worked on this person's piece for about, you know, it's like being a writer on a TV show, really, that sort of thing, or director or anything like that. You know, it's like you worked with these people from how many series and stuff like that, and you feel like it comes to an end. It's like you feel it's finally like it can be laid to rest, really. So I feel satisfied doing it. So satisfied, really, because it's, you know. The end. Well, it's not nigh, really, because we've still got series 3 and 4 to come along, really. But I feel like, you know, I've done my, you know, I feel satisfied. I've done my bit, of course, and that's all thing. I don't know if, you know, if there's any more stuff coming in the pipeline, for, you know, for your sake, and I can just jump on board. I don't know, but I think with the whole series, of course, I feel like, you know, I think doing 4 series would probably be a decent amount. It's done its welcome. It doesn't really, you know, if you do it for more than maybe 5 or 6 seasons more, I probably think it's probably outstayed its welcome, really. But I think my word is satisfied, really. I feel satisfied that, you know, it's done its bit, of course, on YouTube, and it's given you some credentials. It's more of your popular shows on your channel, mate. And you know, I think that's my sort of answer for that, really. And your third question is, have you seen your Memory Characters series done by James Tulip Knight? I've seen bits of them, actually, because you advertise them on your channel. It's saying, you know, a special thanks to James Tulip Knight, and also saying about the plans and stuff. I think that's about last year, actually. I saw that, and I've seen bits of them, of course. It's interesting, really, you know, doing your top 10 favourite characters, you know, pretty interesting. I think, to my thing, I prefer a good mixture of stuff, really, because what I've been doing with my compilation, I've been just doing all sorts of stuff, like, no one's really done anything like this before. Like, I tend to do something very different and different from anything else, really. I do prefer a good variety, I do. I can't, you know, if you enjoy that, that's fine, of course, but I think, you know, I prefer a good, decent variety, because it depends what you like. Something different, something new, something all that's never been seen before, or anything like that, you know, you think that'd be a good idea to include. Very much, that's my thought of thinking, really, to make a good compilation. James is a decent fella, of course, you know, and, you know, his output's really, it's interesting. It's a bit, you know, it's staggering that he's done all this stuff for a year, and that sort of stuff. I do think, it's a bit, this is my criticism, really, because I can be a bit critical sometimes about stuff. You know, his editing's very hodgepodge, I have to admit, in terms of style and everything else. Depends on the sources that he gets his stuff from. You know, it depends on, like, you know, it's not very sort of linked together, very suitable or smooth, if you know what I mean. It's like what I've been doing, because I've been putting them on the same ratio together to make it a bit more neat and a bit tidy. That's my type of thing, really. And a couple of cases that doesn't happen. Depends on the ratio of the video, but on the segment, really. But everything else I've been keeping to the same ratio since then, all the time, really. So I kept it to the more smoothest and make it a bit more ideal and a bit more, I'm trying to think of the word, a bit more sort of up to standards, I don't know, really. But I do think it's output pretty good. I'm very interested to see what else he's got up his sleeve, really, in terms of everything else. It can be, doing like 30 of them, it's like, if I got permission to do it, I'd probably say I can do a few, but I won't do that lot, really, because obviously I tend to do different things I do, really. But the compilation I've been doing, of course, if people enjoy them, that's fine. It's just I feel like doing them, really, doing them for a decent amount, like not many. I can't do 30, no. Oh God, no, I can't do. I've got an excessive amount like what he does, but it's decent. It's decent enough. I mean, with different themes and everything else, of course. It's pretty good. Pretty good series, of course. Decent mixture. Some stuff I'm not really keen on, stuff like that. Stuff of the 2000s, really much. There's some classics which I like, but it's your thing, really. But I'm just a bit mixed on it, at the moment, really. Depends on how it's going and everything else. But I'll give it a good plus. It's, it's a compilation full of characters that you like. That's good, of course. My only sort of issue is because in terms of its editing, really. Editing its final product, but also its excessive amount as well. That's the thing. You can't really do that lot, really. It just depends. It depends on the source material, how much stuff you really got to bring out, really. That's the thing, because sometimes shows have like a certain amount of episodes, and it's like you somehow probably get dried up. And everything else. Excuse me, I got a jet fighter flying over the sky. Yeah, but at least it's going for you. At least you're happy with it. That's good. And that's all I can say about that. I can't go waffling a bit more because of time restraints and everything else. So, thanks, Oscar. Thank you for your questions, mate. I do appreciate them. Cheers, bud. And to finish off, we have Jack Williams. He sent me 4 questions. Thank you very much, Jack. I've appeared on your Ask Jack Williams show just quite a few episodes. I didn't surprise you to send here 14 episodes, but you might come back eventually. You never know, mate. You probably might bring back maybe next year or something. That sort of thing. But it's been great, actually. Been enjoying your series so far. So thank you for submitting some questions, mate. That's really kind of you. So your questions are, question number 1 is, did you own any PlayStation 1 or PlayStation 2 games? Mainly PlayStation 2 games. I was very, very into that sort of console. I was for many years as a kid. Got loads of them. I used to. I sold them, actually. I sold them to CEX, really. A couple of years ago, really, because I had no use to them. They would just block up space to us. So I thought, I'll just get rid of them. Of course, I knew that CEX was selling them. So a couple of security guards who were working in the shopping centre actually took an interest in most of the games I got. It felt like if someone actually walked in the CX, when I was sorting this out, it looked like if I robbed something or do like a little drug bust or something, really. Which had 2 security guards next with me next to the counter. I remember just looking and saying, "Oh my God, I remember this. I fondly remember this. Yeah, that's a pretty good game. I haven't played this in years. My God." And they were sort of just rummaging through everything I got, really. They were just really interested. So sadly, I've sort of got rid of them all. Xbox 360 games I've still got somewhere in the attic because I don't play. I stopped playing consoles quite a number of years ago, really. Last time I played my PlayStation 2 was I think last game was Midway Arcade Treasures 2, which had stuff like Mortal Kombat 2 and 3 on. Xenophobe was a good one. Some to do with 80s game from 1986 as well on there as well. Racing game. Pretty good stuff. But that was the last PlayStation 2 game I played, and just got rid of them all, really. I still own 2 PlayStation 1 games, actually. Amazing Spider-Man and Gran Turismo. Even though I can't remember playing a PlayStation 1. I think I might have had one. It might be my dad's, I don't know. I've no idea, but I still got them somewhere. They're still around, they are. But with PS2 games, they're gone. Really gone. So that's 1 question down. Question 2, what was your favourite Ragdoll production programmes? Rosie and Jim, Brum, Tots TV, and Teletubbies. They were the good ones, They were the ones. Maybe Playbox as well, because I've seen Playbox briefly on a compilation. Probably include that. But in terms, I think them 4 probably stick out more better, because I remember owning stuff by them for many years, of course. if you mention something like Boo Bar, I never seen Boo Bar anyway. I know it's going to be like a weird freaky TV show, but I've never seen it really. I think by that point I was moving on to other stuff, you know, growing up really. And same with In the Night Garden. I've never seen that. Not even one clip. I've never seen any of, you know, of In the Night Garden as well. So only just them 4 TV shows: Teletubbies, Brum, Tots TV, and Rosie and Jim. Those are the favourites really. So them 4 are my favourites. Question 3. Have you ever seen any Gerry Anderson programmes such as Thunderbirds and Captain Scarlet? Thunderbirds I've seen on TV because they've been repeated a lot during the time. I've seen the movie as well from 2004. I used to have Tracy Island as a kid many years ago. Most of my friends did actually. You know, my generation used to play with Thunderbirds years ago. God, you know, I should really cover the movie someday actually, and just really, you know, I think it's on Netflix. Could probably give that a watch again and see what it's like. I know I was a bit underwhelmed by it when I first saw it, but I remember the promotion was huge. Captain Scarlet, I've never seen Captain Scarlet, unfortunately, because it's never been repeated. It's never been shown during my time. But I think I was away from the CGI version first, then the marionette version first. And I think just recently I watched Antiques Roadshow and they showcased the free marionettes they did. Going for auction they were, so that's pretty interesting. Space 99, I've never heard. One show I think is underrated, another Gerry Anderson programme I think was really underrated, really good, is Dick Spanner PI. That is really good, that is. If you haven't seen that, give that a watch. It's still got Shane Rimmer in it. Quite low budget, but it's really good. It's playing on the sort of detective, noir type style, with a robot instead. Really good character. Really absolutely enjoy that character. Great show. I think because it's more of an adult teen centric, so it's more geared for the grown-ups really, but it's actually really good. Fantastic. There's a box set around out there somewhere, you know, features quite a lot of stuff really, but that's really good. I'd probably say Terrorhawks as well. Terrorhawks is quite bizarrely interesting as well. Lavender Castle, I think that's pretty good as well, you know. In terms of animation, voice acting as well, pretty good actually, because I remember someone showcased, I think you told me about Lavender Castle, Jack Williams, and I saw how to look into it. I thought pretty good stuff actually, but I never seen it during my time. Even though I was around during that time, I never saw it. It never appeared on television when I was searching CITV or something. Never around there. So yeah, that's my sort of knowledge with Gerry Anderson productions. And your final one is, who are your favourite characters in Bananas in Pyjamas? Jeez, that goes long. I forgot about Bananas in Pyjamas. My goodness, that's a long. You're going a long time. This is going back way long time. Apart from the Bananas B1 and B2, I'll probably say Rat, the shop owner, is probably my favourite character. The teddy bears, they're interesting, but I can't forget the names who are. But the Rat, I remember fondly. Tries to get the decent goods for the Bananas, of course. Bit of a sort of kind wheeler dealer type style character, really. I think. Let me think about that. Let me try to rephrase that. I think so. I'll probably say he's my favourite character of the sporting ones, really. Yeah. Yeah. Other than that, you got B1 and B2, which are good. That's really about it, with Jack Williams. But thanks for submitting your questions, mate. And that's it with the Q&A. Thank you, guys. DVD and Film Bloke, Baz Banter93, Oscar Barnett, and Jack Williams. Thank you very much for your questions. We'll do another one at some point, maybe towards the end of the year, I think. The next Q&A will happen, maybe in December, I think. Maybe. Give it December, I think. November, December, something like that. See how we do. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. As always, see you for the next video, and goodbye.